UPS brought me a goodie today for the truck, and what this thing is here is a fair lead, and this goes on in front of the winch, and it's going to be mounted like that, and the cable runs between these rollers. So I can't put the cable on because it's got a hook on it, a big hook that won't fit through that space. So I got to get this mounted first. So by the end of the week, I think this will be mounted on the front of the truck. And there it is. It took a couple weeks to get that welded on there. Well, it only took a few hours, but it took a couple weeks before I could get in. And I could get Mikey to weld this up for me. And he did a really nice job. Look at there. Yeah, see? Put that plate on there for me. And I mentioned a couple of D-rings on the back, and he did that too. He just happened to have a couple down there at his shop. So there's the D-rings. Cool, huh? Got one on each side. This is October 8th, and our weather here is really nice. It's in the mid-70s. And today, my neighbor came over and he helped me. And he and I were able to get the cable onto the drum of the winch. And that required me being outside guiding the cable on while he ran the PTO inside the truck. I don't have electric, so none of that fancy stuff with remotes. But this is it. Yeah, so kind of makes it look a little more authentic, I think, than... Okay, it's October 16th, 2018, and what we're doing today, kids, is trying to replace these rubber stoppers that are on the door jamb. Okay, so here's the door latch, and there's a rubber bumper, and there's actually 4 of them, 2 on each door. And there's one up here at the top, which I'm fighting with at the moment. Where is it? There, it's hard to see. There it is. That one I had to drill out because that bolt that was in there was just rusted beyond compare. The problem is there's no nut really attached to the frame. Where am I? There I am. There's not a nut back behind here. And here's the one I took out. And here's where I had to drill the whole the head off. There it is. There, I drilled the head off, and then I pulled the this piece of rubber back out of there. And what's in there is there's a nut. It's a wedge-shaped nut that goes inside the rubber, and that's what holds the bolt and tightens everything back in. I got a new one here. See if I can find it. So anyway, here's the new one, and as you can see, it's got a dovetail in the rubber, and the bolt, the wedge I should say, the wedge nut goes in that dovetail. And I'm going to clean that up, and I'll show it to you in a few minutes here when it's installed. Okay? Alright. Okay, well, it's the following day, and maybe you can see a little better what's going on here. Here is the new replacement part, okay? This is the old one. So, I broke this old one. Well, it was so old it just fell apart. But the deal is, see, there's like a little tit here, right there. And when you shove this into the door opening like that, that little tit stops it from falling inside. And if it does, you'll never get it back because it's inside of a box channel. and it'll end up down in the bottom of your truck floor. Anyway, I ended up having to drill my bolt out, and I've been letting it soak in degreasing film. Keep moving this camera around, sorry about that. Anyway, I've got to put this in the vise, see if I can grind the head, the remaining part of the head, off of this wedge. And then I can maybe I can unthread it. And then I get another bolt to match this one, and that will go into that hole. Of course, it goes through the body. And what I'm trying to save from here is that little wedge part right there. That's a washer and a nut, and I guess it's both. Anyway, that, as I said yesterday, goes inside this groove. Here's a groove there. See that groove? Yeah, well, that's where it goes. It goes in there. So anyway, that's all I got to tell you today, guys. I'm kind of on hold until I'm able to get this thing to break free, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put it back in. Well, what do you know? We got the old wedge nut back into the rubber bumper. I was able to get that that broken off bolt out of it. So we have the old wedge nut is in the new bumper. And we're going to go out, we're going to see what it takes to put it in a truck. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grease this on the top and the bottom, so maybe it'll slide in a little easier than the others I've done. Okay, let's go out to the truck. Okay, so the new rubber bumper went in there pretty easily. Of course, the grease helped a little bit. And once I got it started, I took my trusty hammer and helped it the rest of the way in. So don't hit it too hard. If you do, you might knock that little wedge nut out of the rubber. So that little project's done. Now my door won't rattle as much. Now you're wondering, well, what are we going to do next? So here's the next project. I got some rubber pads. These go on the clutch and brake pedal. The only problem is, this lip in here, it won't go all the way on, and the reason it won't go all the way on is because, I don't know if you can see this, I got my anti-theft hook on here, but right here is a radius. It blends pretty much right into the pedal, and it's stopping the lip on the back side of this rubber from going around there. So I'm going to have to get my little hand grinder out, and I'm going to take some material out right behind there. Also, same deal on the clutch pedal. And then they should stay on. I've had them on. Problem is, they don't stay on. So they'll pop off. So I'm hoping just grinding a little bit will do it. Anyway, that's not going to happen today. I'm not sure when that's going to be. Maybe next week.